to the Low Side Podcast. This is a podcast where 3, sometimes 4 dudes gather around in a room and talk about whatever is on their mind. I'm Nate. I'm joined with Steve.
Hello, everyone.
And Sredy.
Hey, guys.
And we've got a great episode for you today. But before we get into all of that, it's social media plug-in time. Listen, get us some followers. We need some more reviews on iTunes. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at the Low Side Podcast. Very easy to find. Of course, most importantly, check us out on iTunes or Google Play. Leave us a review. Do we get the Google Play stuff solved yet, Sredy?
You know, I have not looked into it ever since I talked about it on the last episode, so no.
It's in progress.
Well,
progress.
we all have iPhones, so sorry, but most importantly, though, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us a lot in the algorithm, so go ahead, hit all that stuff. We've got a great episode for you. Alex, why don't you tell the fine people, the fine listeners, the fine watchers, second episode with video, guys?
Yeah. Second episode with video.
I'm digging it.
And they're about to see how much this is a shit show because we didn't actually talk about what we're going to talk about.
Well, no, that's why I was just about to pass it to you.
Oh.
So, Sredy, what are we talking about today?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Besides so our main topic for today is we're going to talk about relationships.
That is correct.
You know, maybe some sexy time. Ooh. You know, some...
Yeah,
we'll get into it here a little bit later. We're going to be talking about Shreddy's take on Jurassic World.
Yes.
Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World 2.
Masterpiece.
Maybe. We're going to be talking about some current events, ? Do we have any current events that we're going to be talking about?
I at least have one that I briefly just want to touch on.
All right. And then, of course, we have the Low Side Podcast local film plug. As always, I have 3 new films.
Nice.
I actually got some people to respond.
Nice.
Hey,
we plugged it hard last episode.
We did plug it hard last episode. So I got 3 of those for you guys today. And do you guys have anything else you want to talk about today?
Yeah, I got some big news. We'll get to that later. So whenever we're done with that cool stuff, we'll get into some lame stuff that I want to bring up.
Lame-o.
Some real life stuff.
Yeah, real life stuff. Get ready.
All right, and also, check out that sweet banner there. Looks pretty good, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah. Hopefully soon we can hang it up a little bit better than duct taping it to the wall.
Smash that like button if you dig the banner here.
It's super sweet.
So I guess let's start with our current event. The one thing I really wanted to talk about was, of course, the drummer of Hell Yeah, Damage Plan, Pantera, Vinnie Paul has passed away, which is something that is very sad for me. The details of his death haven't been released yet. The family is keeping things under wraps. I've seen some people saying that, he died from a massive heart attack, which could very well make sense. He was a lifelong drinker and smoker, so he lived his life the way he wanted. And for me personally, he was a big influence when I was learning the drums, listening to Pantera a lot. I didn't really listen to his other bands so much, but with Pantera, huge influence on me. Of course, most people know the band, and it's just a bummer. It's just a real bummer that he's gone. He was only 54. Super young.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, and he was, still at the top of his game, still drumming heavy metal songs, crazy stuff. The dude had so much talent, and it's sad because even though I knew it probably wasn't going to happen, I always had the idea in my mind that maybe one day we'd actually see a Pantera reunion, of course with a different guitar player, because obviously Dimebag Darrell was killed on stage, which is also horrible. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I remember him dying, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, Dimebag Darrell was shot and killed on stage during a Damage Plan concert.
Oh,
that's intense.
Yeah, and Vinnie Paul was the drummer of that band too, so he saw his brother get shot on stage, and that's a terrible situation.
Yeah. Not to be disrespectful, but are there any kind of conspiracy theories, or is it pretty sure?
Yeah,
like did he overdose on drugs, or any kind of?
For Vinnie Paul, like I said, the only thing that I've really read is some people saying that he died of a heart attack.
Okay.
So I haven't seen anything about a drug overdose or anything like that, but heart attack does sound likely. He was kind of a bigger dude, so I don't know. It's just a real big bummer for me because that was one of my big influences on drumming.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. There's a lot of great, guitarists and musicians, that are kind of getting up there in age and whatever they have going on.
We're getting to that point where a lot of heroes of the music industry, a lot of icons are obviously we've already lost a lot of icons. I mean, just last year, Prince and David Bowie are the two that come to my mind.
And
for
Chris
that.
Cornell, last year.
Chris Cornell, true. It's
rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad coming up here, especially if you're a fan of 70s, 80s, 90s music.
Yep.
So brace for that, I guess. But I just wanted to say, rest in peace, Vinnie Paul. Hopefully, if you were in any pain, it is all gone now. So let's pick that up.
Switch gears a little bit.
I got a current event that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Something that's been grinding my gears a little bit.
Spill the beans.
Let's
Sredy.
talk about the most overplayed song of 2018 so far.
Which is?
It's from Steve's favorite band. Can you guys guess it?
Africa by Weezer?
Africa by Weezer.
Oh,
I've heard that song 8 times today.
Really?
Man,
do they play it on the radio?
Yeah, they play it on
wow.
101 all the time.
See, I only knew it to be on either YouTube or through their social media pages.
Yeah,
I kind of promoting it, hey, we did this cover.
I don't.
No, yeah, it's been playing like I said, I heard it at least 3 times. Like every time I hop in the car right now, it's always on.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't really listen to the radio, so
come on, Sredy.
I have no idea.
It's a good song.
It's funny you mentioned that, though.
Song, but it's just getting overplayed.
Right, not 8 times in a row good.
Yeah.
2 things I want to mention about that song. Last night I went bowling, and they had one of those touch tunes karaoke boxes. Totally played that. And then
the original or Weezer?
Both.
Nice.
Back to back.
Yeah.
It's a back to back.
No, it wasn't back to back, but
did you just play them one on top of the other?
Yeah, it was $10 well spent.
Just switches back and forth. But a funny thing about Toto by Weezer is that it's the first time they've charted on the billboards this decade, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
That a cover song is what has brought them back to the top. Although I don't Weezer's never really been a band that's charted often, and
right.
I don't think they really care, I personally don't think the music that they play is music that would chart anyway. But it's just kind of funny.
Biggest meme of 2018.
Yeah, probably.
For sure.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're banking off of it. They played that song on Jimmy Kimmel Live, so I mean,
only band I've seen live still. I've only seen one band live.
You've only seen them live?
And it was Weezer.
That's crazy.
I love you guys.
Yes, I also love Weezer.
Good job, Rivers.
I do like Weezer as well.
I've seen you guys
Not
twice.
As much as Steve.
Yeah.
Seen him twice.
I've seen him 0 times.
I went with Darren. Darren and I went to a concert in Chicago. We went to the Allstate Arena.
Yeah.
Best thing I've ever done.
I saw them play all of Blue Album front to back live, which was amazing because that is their best album.
There was a few songs they played while we were there that I don't remember what they were. Because there was just so much going on. It's my first concert, and I didn't know what to expect or what was going to happen. And there's just people watching, and then the band comes on, and then they start playing this song. I'm just like, man, I wish I knew what this was. There was only 2 songs that happened to me like that, but
they do sometimes bust out their old demo songs,
deep cuts.
Yeah, Weezer is definitely a band that's not afraid to play their deep cuts live, and for people to just be like,
yeah, what are they playing right now? Yeah, it was a great concert though, so it was super awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome live, but that's funny that you mentioned that.
We'll play it for you.
It played on the way here.
We'll play it on the outro of the video today.
And it played on the way, yeah. Let's play our 5 seconds. Actually, I think we could probably play a little bit more, since we're not making any money.
Yeah.
And, this video is going to end up being an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Worst
probably.
Case scenario, the entire audio for this video gets muted.
Yeah.
Right.
No
So
big
you'll
deal.
just
No big deal.
yeah.
Not a big
We're
deal.
gonna have to pull Tim in, and he's gonna have to teach us.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're going to have to do sign language with audio.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to be the first ones to do it.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So that is any more current events going around?
I'm trying to sell my house.
Yeah.
And it's super stressful.
Why is it stressful? Because you're saying you're stressed out, and I get that you probably had to clean the shit out of your house, but
Yep. So let me break it down.
Okay.
I live a life very simple, right? I live a very simple life.
Be simple.
Yeah, they should Weezer cover that song.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just harass them enough on Twitter and they'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Just tweet them enough.
The girl that did that was 16. It was so funny. I saw an interview with her on the news.
Jeez.
So I love Weezer.
Yeah.
So simple, chill lifestyle, right? Go to work, go home and chill, play video games, hang out with the dog, hang out with the wifey. We're decided to go. Yeah, we'll get into that later, right? So we decided we want to sell the house, and we're like, all right, let's do it. We call our realtor. She's like, yeah, we could get the house for sale, no big deal. She's like, your house is super nice. We'll sell it in like a week. We already have 4 viewings in the past 2 days, and we've only seen 2 houses like for us to move to. So what my fear is we're gonna move into a house or sell our house and not have a house to go move into.
Yeah,
that might be a problem.
I'm gonna have to bum, like I'm gonna have to live with your parents or something. You and your parents.
You probably have the garage.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you guys have the basement, right?
Yeah.
As long as I don't interfere with the out of the basement YouTube channel.
Yeah, I
Just
might
sit
have
on the other side of the camera.
or I'll
Yeah.
have to throw you in the crawl space when we're recording.
As long as it's cool, I'm all right with that. So yeah, that's what's stressful is like the house is good. I feel like we could sell it pretty quickly, but I don't have anywhere to stay.
because you're trying to upgrade.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more space. We want a house with like a basement or 4 bedrooms or something like that. Like
Steve wants a whole studio.
yeah, I want my
down in the
own
basement.
Yellow TV studio that doesn't get messed with and still have living space.
You think
Man.
I could rent out a corner
I was
in
about
that,
to say-
in that basement?
I need to become more successful so I can have room for things.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. If I get this basement, that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna move the
Oh,
Low
we're
Side
moving the
podcast
Oh.
out of the current
We're
residence.
gonna get out of the mop
Yes.
closet.
Yeah. the mop closet with no AC or heat.
Yeah,
So
we'll have both. We'll have a beer fridge right next to
Oh
the
my
table
God.
here. So
Yeah,
it'll be
We're
awesome.
gonna be getting smashed
keep
every
the
podcast.
keep the
Yeah.
blue
You
moon
remember the-
on deck.
You
Yeah,
remember
well-
the one time that I was a little tipsy podcasting?
Yes.
That's going to be every day, folks.
So that's what's going on. Like the stress is more so trying to find a new place because we're so picky. We don't know what we want. Well, we do know what we want, but it's just kind of hard to find those, that specific layout and price point that we want without breaking the budget because that's what we don't want to do. So that's why it's stressful. And then you have to go to work. You guys go to work too, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, the podcast isn't paying all the bills, but it's paying some of them.
Is it though?
Which is a great time to mention our sponsors.
Cashing out.
Cashing out merch. Get a t-shirt. Get a hoodie, even though it's 90 degrees out.
I didn't.
Maybe it's not 90 degrees where you're living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the people living in Antarctica, now's the time to buy.
Yeah. Aren't they like discounted right now?
No, but
Oh, that was at the
keep
beginning.
I keep wanting to promote a sale, but I need to time it out so that way when the podcast is up,
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free
So-
shipping on all orders to
Because
Alaska.
I thought about doing a Father's Day sale, but I'm thinking about this 3 days before Father's Day.
That's a good time to promote.
Yeah, and it's a little late for 4th of July because that's next week.
Yeah. So then this podcast won't be out till late July, right?
Yeah,
Probably
because
middle of July.
because I talked to the boys about going back to weekly, but Shreddy's time is a little limited at
Yeah.
the moment. So
Oh yeah.
after filming stuff is done,
Yeah.
we'll go back to weekly.
All right, that sounds good. So that's my current event, guys. Wish me luck on finding a new house. All right.
Yeah,
Hopefully we
wish
can get
us
something.
luck on finding a house as well.
Yeah, because we got to take the podcast.
Nate and I are currently homeless.
Yeah,
Into
we
the
live on the
basement.
streets.
Yes.
So yeah.
But yes, we have all of this podcast equipment, and no, we're not selling it.
Right.
Yes.
One more current event I wanted to say is by the time this goes up, which is obviously going to be a couple weeks from now, Toys R Us in the United States will be officially closed forever.
R.I.P. Did you hear about the guy that wants to revive it already?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Same name?
I think he was one of the original owners or something like that,
Oh,
or one of
okay.
the original founders.
He just won't let it die.
Probably.
Because they've already had bids for people to save the business from billionaires and stuff, and whoever the CEO is at this point is just nah. So obviously that's a big childhood toy shopping center. If you're an adult collector like me, you still go there all the time, or you did. And so today is the second to last day that Toys R Us will be open, and me and the boys, the Out of the Basement boys, we're gonna go and do a final vlog video at Toys R Us to just kind of see how barren it is. See, because I haven't been in there ever since they started the closing sale. I didn't go in once, just because I was planning on waiting till the very end.
Did they do that, closing out sale where they have everything discounted, but it's only like a couple bucks?
Yeah.
Because, Grange Mountain or whatever, Gander Mountain. Out in
Gander
America,
Mountain.
Yeah. Fishing channel, right, over here. So I went there to go see what was on sale, and I was like, oh, let me go see if there's, something good I can get that I haven't bought in a while. Everything's like $1 cheaper than what they normally, liquidation sale, come get it. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy this.
While supplies last.
Right, it's only $1 cheaper.
That's exactly what happened at Toys R Us. Like, the sign said, 30 to 70% off, and then you walk inside and everything's 10% off. There's, one thing that's
like their bouncy balls.
That's like the draw-in, yeah.
This $1 bouncy ball is now only 30 cents.
Buy it for your dog now.
But, yeah, it's just sad to see that, a place that exclusively sells toys is going out of business.
When did they open?
Long time ago.
Like in the 70s, 80s, or earlier
Probably
than
I
that?
feel like it was sooner than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably well, I know there was previous incarnations before it was called Toys R Us that were opened in the 50s or 60s, I think. But you gonna fact check that, Steve?
Yeah, we're gonna look her up real quick.
Let's not be a dumbass like Sredy and not look things up.
52 states?
52 states.
Conor McGregor's worth
Pagan?
$8 billion?
Yeah, luckily that wasn't mine.
Whatever.
Oh, speaking of that.
Actually, I think 52 states is a little bit worse than the $85 billion.
Oh, yeah, $85 billion.
At least
that's
everyone
what it
knows
was.
that, right?
Yeah.
Or at least they should.
That reminded me of the Mark Zuckerberg comment.
1948 in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, but it was under a different name at first, so.
Yeah, Children's Supermart.
Yeah, I'm sure both of you guys probably went to Toys R Us a ton when you were little.
Oh, yeah.
Because, who didn't? And
Whoa, Steve, you gotta watch that, bro.
What am I doing? Am I all right?
You keep touching it, and it's just making all
my
sorts
bad.
of noises.
Sorry about that.
So, yeah, it's sad. And there's a picture going around.
Its fate is bankruptcy.
Yeah, there's a picture going around of Jeffrey the giraffe waving goodbye, and he has a suitcase and a little Hawaiian shirt on.
And he says there's no more or all the Toys R Us kids grew up.
And I'm just why am I getting sad at a giant mascot?
Yeah.
That
Hey,
looks
you
like
grew up
shit.
with it. We all
Yeah.
grew up with it.
Even though, Toys R Us totally did it to themselves. We, on my channel, Out of the Basement, we did a whole video about where Toys R Us went wrong. And
Give me the Cliff Notes. I'm curious.
Well, they pretty much did it to themselves. They wouldn't have things that are in demand. They wouldn't stock those things. They would never clearance anything out. So a lot of times you'd walk in there, you would literally see the same things on the shelves for months because they would sell everything more expensive than going to Walmart or shopping online. They would never have the thing that you were looking for. And they would have exclusive action figures and stuff. They also wouldn't have those. So the only place that you could get certain figures, you'd go to that place and they wouldn't have them. So it was just really frustrating. And
Yeah, you would think of a place like that with that much reach, and name, everyone knows who Toys R Us is. They would have that kind of,
yeah.
And
And
selection and offering for people.
And I think at this day and age too, most people that buy action figures are straight up adults.
Like collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go into Toys R Us for the past 5 years, you'd barely see kids in there.
Yeah.
Or you'd see kids in where they actually have the 4 kids toys. So it was just you'd go in there, there'd just be a bunch of adults.
So did you guys talk about why they didn't start doing the discounts and the clearance stuff? Is there is there a reasoning why they didn't kind of catch on with the rest of the industry?
There's nothing really concrete. And I do know that it's kind of a case-by-case basis for Toys R Us, whether they do clearance or not. It's really up to the owner, and just the one specifically in our area just never did. So you would literally go in there and you could wipe the dust off of action figures because they had been there so long.
Yeah, that's not good.
And they just refused to clearance. So they did it to themselves, but it's ultimately still pretty sad, in my opinion, to see them go.
Yep.
But that was my last current event.
I got one more, and then we'll move on.
All right.
Happy birthday, Nate.
Oh, thank you.
Happy
Nate.
birthday,
Thank you.
Nate.
Yes.
Nate's birthday was 2 days ago now. What day is it? Thursday? Your birthday was Monday.
Where'd you go for your birthday?
I went to a casino
Ooh.
and I gambled and lost money.
Oh, you didn't cash out?
Well, okay. I spent $60 and I got 50 of it back. So
Okay.
So yeah.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't lose a ton of money, but I lost like $10. I played a Game of Thrones slot machine,
God.
which was pretty awesome because it was like blaring the theme, like the seat.
Oh, I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
it. That's the only game that my girlfriend will play.
The seat
jeez.
that you sit in has speakers behind it and speakers in front of you, so it's just blaring the music.
Is this your first time at the casino?
At this particular casino, I've been to another one.
Okay.
Because crab leg buffets and stuff can't keep me away. I love crab leg buffets, so
Yeah.
anytime I can go get some crab leg, I'm totally down for that. But
Where did you go before?
well, before I went to Majestic Star.
It's probably not a good first time one. I
Yeah.
like that place first. Well, I did.
I like it because it reminds me of like a movie, like in a movie when there's a casino. It's like very old school.
That's the place where Cashing Out was born.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like that was when I went in there, I was like, wow, I like even though the place just smelled like a giant cigarette, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Man,
That's the
they
worst part.
mask it with Lysol, like
Yeah.
just this.
it doesn't
like,
work.
Yeah.
Disinfectant smell.
Well, I was going to ask you,
all
what
the
did you
time.
think of when you walked into the Blue Chip? You know how you have like the stage on the right, you have the bar to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the what did you think of all that? Like when I walk in, I just think like I'm supposed to be here. You know, like something about it is so welcoming.
I've
thought-
never felt that way when
no,
walking into Blue Chip.
I just feel like it's like, come on in, Steve, spend your money, and I'm
I
just like,
thought
I will. Here we go.
I thought the Blue Chip was going to be bigger because the building is gigantic, and then
Yeah.
you walk in and the casino's kind of small.
It's
Yeah.
because they actually have a hotel attached to it,
Yeah.
whereas like all the other casinos,
They're
it's
just straight.
usually it's either off-site or just nearby, but not actually attached to the casino.
And I stayed at the hotel. It was nice. It was a nice little stay.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know who's got a nice hotel? Is
Four Winds?
Ameristar. I haven't been to the
We should go.
Four Winds.
We should make a trip up there.
let's
Yeah.
do it. I'm down to
They
gamble.
got they got the new one in South Bend
Yeah,
that I've been wanting to check out.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
We're taking the podcast on
Yeah.
the road.
We're gonna do it live from the casino.
What
There's
up,
a bunch
everybody?
of background noise.
Welcome to the Low Side Podcast. We're live from the Four Winds Casino.
Why
Yeah.
not? What are they gonna do? Kick us out?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
they
well,
probably will, especially if we're
Immediately.
filming.
Yeah, we'll just do an audio podcast. You can't kick us out for just recording audio.
Yeah.
But
What am I gonna listen
Yeah.
to the blackjack counting cards?
Do you feel bad for all the old ladies and all the old dudes just sitting there spending their life savings there, smoking a cigarette?
Man,
No.
that gives them purpose. All right.
I feel like seriously, I feel like it does. And if I were to go to the casino as often as they do, I feel I would get consumed by that too because I'm very like, I would just eat that stuff up, and then I would just sit there and I would just get into that lifestyle where I would just sit there and just spend your money.
That the crankers, I can't.
No,
I don't understand it. But like if you're playing like table games, I kind of understand because you can, like with blackjack or with poker, there's a little bit more skill involved with
Yeah.
that. But just cranking away at a machine,
smoking away, drinking away,
Yeah, no,
cranking away. That's
But,
all these guys are doing.
yeah, I don't know how you can do it.
I mostly played slots because I don't know how to play any card games. But I did play like an electric blackjack game. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Did you win?
Yeah, I won like $50 off of it. But then of course I spent it all. Lost.
Don't be
that.
ashamed.
Yeah.
It's okay.
They used to have a craps machine over at Blue Chip. I don't know why they took it away. Probably because it was just feeding out money to people. Because like me and my friends went one night and we all won like $100 each on that thing, and it was
Nice.
like a $3 minimum.
Did you eat there?
Yeah, I ate at the buffet, which I would say the buffet was not as good as the Majestic Star, which was shocking.
Wow.
Surprisingly
See,
small selection.
Majestic Star's got that soul food.
Yeah. That's why it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
I
when
would
I
also
went-
They
agree.
know how to do it.
When I went to the Majestic Star, they had prime rib, they had crab leg. So they had unlimited steaks. And then I go to the Blue Chip buffet. They have
Here's
some
a burger.
Yeah, they have like tacos, burger. They had some really good soup. But I was like, man, where's
Where's all the good stuff?
Yeah, I asked the guy that was cutting the meat. I was like, hey, can I get a slice of prime rib? He's like, I don't have that. And I was like, oh.
Shit.
Yeah.
You got to go win some money first.
So apparently, skip the Blue Chip. Horseshoe's really good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go there on my birthday.
Isn't
My
that where
parents
Bobby
wanna
worked?
Take me. Bob
Didn't
did work there.
Bobby
yeah.
worked there?
Yeah.
Shout out to Bob.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby.
Shout out to Bobby. All right, but yeah. So
Let's move on.
I turned 25. It was my golden birthday.
Happy birthday,
so.
Nate.
And I turned 28 in a couple days.
Sweet. We'll do a podcast for you, too.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Fireworks.
Yeah.
My birthday's on the 4th of July, unfortunately.
No. So everyone blows up stuff for you, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes.
The whole neighborhood.
It's funny that I never thought I would meet anyone else that was born on the 4th of July because my cousin was. And I was like, wow, what a weird thing. And then I met you and I was like, wow.
What a weird
this
thing.
is really
a lot
weird.
more common.
Yeah.
There's actually a few people we work with who also had 4th of July birthdays.
It's
I'm
crazy.
just like, what the hell's going on? I was
Yeah.
the only one.
Yeah, mine's on a holiday, but it's not as significant. Like, not everyone celebrates it as much as they do 4th of July.
Interesting.
Memorial Day. Or no, Veterans Day. There you go, Veterans Day. I don't even know my own
I don't
birthday.
know when my birthday
Yeah,
is.
my birthday's on Christmas.
Okay, so do you guys want to move on to the main
'cause
topic?
You only got a half hour. How are we going to split this up? 'Cause
Yeah, Steve, this was kind of your idea, and when you brought it up with us, we were all like, yeah, let's talk about relationships. So I'm going to pass it to you because I feel like you know what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, Steve, take it away.
All right. Let's get in. Everyone settle in. All right. You guys watching at home? Getting ready, Nate?
I'm settled in.
You got your hot
Yeah.
cocoa and
Yeah, hot cocoa.
fuzzy slippers on
Safe
now?
and cozy.
Right. Or your popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah. Just, there's a lot of stuff going on with relationships, right? We all have the good relationships.
Yep.
We all have been through or have currently in
Yep.
a bad relationship. My question to you guys, and I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on this. Why do people stay in bad relationships knowingly, they know that no one's benefiting from it. It's dragging them down as a person. And it takes them so long to move on or to leave. You know what I mean? Like I see too many people like that. Old friends, new friends, even family. People they're just stuck in this kind of like mouse wheel, of being treated like really well. And then the circle turns and they're being treated like shit. And then circle turns a little bit more. How do I get out of this? And they just kind of keep going back in the own cycle. Like, what gives? Why do people do this to themselves?
I have a couple thoughts on this. I think the one main thing, and I could be completely wrong about this, is I feel like a lot of people really fear change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely someone like that. So the idea of, especially because, I feel like a lot of these, I haven't been in an abusive relationship, so I couldn't really tell you, but I feel like people who are in abusive relationships have been in them for quite some time. It's not like it starts off like that. Usually everything's good, and then just something, as time just progresses, something changes.
Right.
So once you're, cozy, it's hard to just completely change your lifestyle, especially if you have factors such as A, having kids.
Right.
That's obviously difficult. B, living with a person. I think that's all I have as far as options.
Well,
for
yeah,
that,
and
but
those are definitely, if you're having kids, that's a huge thing. That's tough to kind of get up and just go.
I think that is a big part of it, though, is just being comfortable, especially if you're living with the person, if you have kids with them, if you're married to them. You don't really want to maybe take the time to get to know someone new or this or that.
dating sucks too. So
it
going
could
out
be
and find
difficult.
somebody new, they could feel like there's just nobody else out there for them.
Right.
So you're just kind of, this is it. This is the best that I'm ever gonna get.
Yeah. I've seen too many people though, say they break up and then they try to get themselves out there again, and then they meet someone, they're like, oh yeah, this person's cool. But then they go too far too fast. Yeah. Or you have the opposite effect where you don't move fast enough or, at a good pace for the partner, right? And then that turns them off too. So it's like the person initially was in a long-term relationship. They're trying to, move on and find someone new. They either get too clingy or they're not invested enough, and then you also see that kind of decline or, that fail in the relationship. And then that person just kind of gets in this another circle, where they're like, I don't even want to date because dating sucks. Like this is tough. So it's just getting through all that is kind of rough to see. Some of these people go through it, but I don't know. It's just weird. It really is weird to see people do that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to, talk to someone that has had that happen to them, because I've never been in that situation where I've just been stuck in like a terrible relationship.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of mine have been pretty good.
Yeah. I think what I think is funny. So I'll share this with you guys. Okay, it's story time.
Story time.
Ooh. So before I met my wife, there was this girl that I was hanging out with, and nothing was. It was just all we're just hanging out, get to know each other. And she's like, "Hey, you want to go back to my house? By the beach?" And she lives at the beach, and she had she lived with her parents and stuff, whatever. She's like, "We can go watch movies and just hang out in the basement." I'm like, I don't know. The Hawks game's coming on soon, so I don't know if I want to do that. But
Typical Steve.
But I'll let you know.
Steve.
We'll see we'll see what happens. So as the day goes on, it's like 5:30. And she's really trying to reel me in to go hang out at her house, and
I'm gonna take it that you're just oblivious to what the situation's heading towards.
Well, I don't even know if it was that, because I know what you're talking about, but I don't think they were like that.
Carry on.
Yeah. So time came to go hang out at the house. Whether it was that or not, I don't think it was. But she's like, "Hey, come on, let's go over and we'll hang out." I'm like, actually, I'm gonna go. The Hawks game starts at 30 minutes. I'm gonna go home and watch them instead. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Let's go hang out." I'm like, "Nope, I don't want to." And my point being with this is yeah, I may have gotten lucky or I could have gotten lucky that night or whatever, but I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I didn't want anyone else to kind of pull me away from. Yes, it was a Hawks game, but go Blackhawks! All right, I'm not going to stray away from that.
Now that is a diehard fan.
Yeah, and it's just So my point is there's a lot of people who are in relationships that there's nothing wrong with sacrifice or what do you call it?
Compromise.
Compromise, yeah, wanting to go do something for someone because that's what they want to go do. But you also have to be who you are in the relationships too, and I think that's a big deal. A lot of people, when they get in relationships, they're not the same person as they were without that person, without their newfound relationship or that person that they're with.
I can relate to that.
They change you in a way that's not positive. You almost kind of hide yourself from your friends. You're like, "Hey, let's go do this all the time." And then Sally's over here waiting for you to hang out with her, and you're kind of a different person.
Right.
All my friends are stupid. Hockey's stupid.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Everything I like is just dumb.
Right.
Well, what do you like?
Yeah, I want to know what you like. You like movies? Great. So I don't like that. I think if you're in a relationship, it needs to be 100% be yourself. You be you, Nate. You be you, Alex.
Oh, I'm never afraid to hide myself.
And I'll be me.
But I feel like that sometimes could be a problem for me.
Yeah, you're too Nate.
I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel like I don't have the effort to hide my personality or hide my interests. I'm like, if you're not into what I'm into or you think it's weird, okay, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my time with you. So,
right.
Yeah.
Is the first thing, okay, so I'm just picturing Nate. Do you remember that, I can't remember what scene it is in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, but when he's got all of his, you can see his room of just action figures and shit. I could just picture a girl walking into Nate's basement and just seeing all of his
seeing all
his
the
stuff.
figs.
And then she's just like, "Yeah, I'm not into this." And he's just like, on to the next.
Yeah.
Swipe.
I would 110% do that, but I feel like at this day and age, it's easier than ever to be an adult action figure collector because everyone's a nerd now, and being a nerd is cool.
It's cool. It's
maybe 10 years ago. Thankfully, I would only be 15, so I wasn't I've collected action figures.
It was
whole
expected
life.
at that age,
but
it's okay.
But a couple of years ago, when being a nerd wasn't cool, then stuff like the 40-year-old version with people being weirded out by action figures. I totally get that, but now this day and age, it's pretty normal. I feel like most people, especially with stuff like pop vinyl, everyone collects pop vinyls, or at least everyone has one.
I don't.
So, okay, congratulations, Alex. You want a medal?
Yeah, fucking
actually
do.
Give him a pop medal. That's what we're fine.
Yeah. But I feel like it's easier than ever to just be yeah, I'm a dork. And as long as you don't let it get out of control and you keep your collection to a minimum and you're not sitting there with 8 bookcases filled with action figures and they're all on the floor and everything, I feel like it's okay. But again, if I was with someone and they were like, "This is weird," I'd be like, "All right, well, I'll see you later."
Yeah, this is my life.
Yeah, because I'm not going to change who I am, especially at this point in my life.
Right.
For someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. So have you guys learned anything from past relationships that you've brought to your current one or whatever? Is there anything you've learned to how to handle situations, or is there anything you look back on now that you're like, man, I wish I would have done this instead?
Yes.
What do you got?
Okay, so I'm not gonna name
No names. That's fine.
obviously.
We're not doing that.
So yeah, we're just. But my roster's a little small for those who know me personally. But I'm just hoping that people just don't know me personally. But past girlfriends have tried to keep me from trying to reach my goals. They wanted me around more than okay, so when I was in college, I wanted to go to film school. And the school that I wanted to go to was it was essentially a 40-hour-a-week school. So I'd be going to work, at my regular job, and then having to go to school 40 hours a week in Chicago. So had more like 50 hours a week with travel, having to take the train every day. And she just was like, not into that at all.
Yeah.
And, I didn't go to the school for that reason, but I want to say that I was considering not going because of that. And from there, with my current girlfriend, when I asked her out, I said to her straight up, I hope you know what you're getting into, because this is not going to be an easy life being with me. Well, I am not kidding.
Dang. Well, apparently it's worked out because you guys have been together for quite some time. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely... I can admit to myself, and because my previous relationship, it was a pretty long-term one, and I was, younger, wasn't as old and seasoned as I am now, but there was a point in time where I was straight up, addicted to going out and hunting for action figures. And what I mean by hunting is going to every single retail store that sells action figures and trying to find a specific one. Most of the time, I would come up with absolutely nothing, but I was so addicted to it in my...
Addicted to the chase.
Yeah, I was so addicted to it in my previous relationship that I would, stop spending time with the person who I was with to go do this.
Right.
Just because I'd be like, oh, I need this. I need this. And at the time, I was like, this is whatever. I'm totally fine. This is normal. But
this isn't crazy.
Yeah. Afterwards, we broke up, I was like, wow. I was kind of being a little ridiculous. And I barely even go out. Most of my action figure purchases these days are online. Because I'm just I'm tired of wasting the gas.
And now Nate goes and hunts A24 movies at Family Video.
Yeah. Well, see, hunting for Blu-rays is a little bit easier.
That's true.
You can there's
movies are everywhere.
Yeah, movies are everywhere. They're pretty easy to find for the most part. But there's a whole other story about distribution of action figures and everything that is just too much to get into. But
yeah,
I feel like with that made me step back and realize, okay, maybe I need to chill. Mm-hmm. And I definitely have. And I was definitely spending way too much money at the time, too. Because, action figures are not cheap. They're $20 to $80 to go even beyond that. So, it took getting broken up with to realize that. But I think in the long run, it was great. It was good that happened, because I don't know how I would be right now if I was able to just keep doing that.
Right. I think being able to find that self-growth in those, breakups and then moving on to something different, is beneficial, both for you and then the person who's not next in line, but, the person that moves into your life the next, you know, and I feel like that's a big thing. If you don't ever grow and don't ever kind of find out who you are, maybe your relationships are always going to be as shit. Maybe they're always going to be tough and you won't ever be really happy like you wanted. And you kind of become maybe jealous of your friends. Maybe they're in great relationships because they were able to find that growth and move forward. I think that's a big deal when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Being able to move forward, find out who you are as a person, and what do you want from someone that's going to sit next to you, to go see, the movies or go get married with. You know what I mean? That's a big deal. And I think people kind of forget that sometimes. It's not only just about you. It's about, it is mostly about you, but what are you going to find? How can you find someone who will complement those, the pros in your life, those things that you want to have goals to move towards? That's super awesome that she was hey, go do your film stuff, go do cashing out, go do this, like your current relationship. She's super supportive, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's super cool. So one of the things that I was able to learn that I guess I don't really know if I like this, and I haven't done it in a long time, but it was a kind of like you, Nate, long-term relationship, and it just kind of turned into, it just wasn't good, right? It just ended poorly. But one of the things that I took away from it was, and again, I don't think this is a good thing, but I just learned to do it, was to shut people out. So I was, treated poorly towards the end, and I was just as if just cut off. Power was cut to the build.
Can you define that a little bit?
So, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the relationship. Why is it going bad? Why are we going through all this? These tough times. She broke it off. And then she broke it off. Like, there was no communication. There's no way for me to reach out and say, hey, what's going on? How can we fix this? It was literally just like a light switch went out. And that's all it was. So it was kind of hard to kind of get to the other side to find out what was going on, So basically, that's what I did when things got rough, either with my guy friends, sometimes even with my family. If things weren't going right, I would just zone out. I would just block it because I didn't want to either A, deal with it, or to, kind of go through that confrontation where it could make things worse, So, again, I don't think that's a quality, but it actually had helped me in later relationships when it didn't really start off very well. And I was like, all right, I don't want to do this because, like you said, you find out who you are after, so much time and maybe other relationships. I was like, I don't want to go through this. I don't want to hurt you anymore. And I don't want to bring myself down because I just don't want to go through it. So you just cut them off. And that just seemed to be the easiest way for me to kind of move forward. It was tough though. It's tough to just block people out and say, I'm done with you, because maybe there's something you can learn from that, but I don't know. It's just something I took away from those relationships, but it's been so long since I've actually done that I don't do it currently, but it's something that I just always remember just stuck with me for some reason.
I did that.
Yeah.
I straight up ghosted. I tried. But my last relationship didn't go so well. And I knew that we were kind of toxic for each other.
Yeah.
In one way or another. So one day I was just like, all right, I just got to flip this off completely.
Yeah.
I at least tried, to make it work, but it just wasn't happening. To just be normal outside of separately or our lives separately, but it just wasn't happening. So I was just like, all right.
Yeah. Be done with it.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's cool though, even after these kind of, relationships, as Darren calls them, my friend.
Heyo.
Shout out to Darren.
Hashtag relationships. We're just going to have a hashtag for every episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool. You can give that experience and advice to people who are younger than you, or people who are kind of going through that same thing that you went through 5 or 6 years ago, or however long it was,
or even people who are older than you.
Yeah, I mean, really, sometimes people need that.
yeah, they can.
So, yeah, I just sometimes it's beneficial for the person that you're close with, like a friend or a family member, because that's what happened with me and one of my family members just went through a bad relationship, and you're able to hey, don't worry about it. It's going to get better. There's more fish in this, the classic, whatever, just move on, quotes. But there's actually some truth in there that says, hey, you'll be okay.
There's more DMs to slide into.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The 2018 version of there's more fish in the sea.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag there's more DMs to slide in.
And one thing I want to say though is, especially when you're in a relationship with someone, don't ever shut your friends out.
I did that.
That's always a terrible idea.
Yeah, amen to that.
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time hated all my friends. I think she just hated anybody that wasn't her.
Right.
To be honest.
Right.
Around me.
Because when you do that, and then you get broken up with, or you break up with someone,
Hey, where's my friends at?
then you're kind of stuck with
Hello?
no one.
Yeah.
My previous relationship, like I said, I'm super glad that I was able to stay close to all of my friends, still have tons of time for them, and they were there for me. And I feel like that helped out a lot, helped me take my mind off a lot of things. So I can definitely see people shutting out their friends and then getting out of a relationship and then just kind of wallowing in their sorrows and kind of going deeper and deeper into that hole, or alternatively just going back to that person.
Yeah.
Just because you're like, okay, well, I have nothing to keep my mind off of it, so I just like keep thinking about it. And I feel like a lot of people do end up doing that. They shut their friends out to focus on this one person, and then, you know, when shit goes down, then your friends are kind of like, well, we don't want to talk to you.
We've moved on.
Yeah.
Don't resub to your friends. Just keep that subscription going. Keep that thing going.
Yeah. I feel like that's a really important thing to keep in mind because, yeah, there's totally been situations like that where not me, but people I've been friends with have shut me out, and then they've tried to come back into my life, and I'm just like, too late, dude.
I'm trying to think of if
Too
I
late.
know anybody I've done that to, or I don't know. It's weird. I think it's some of the things that's just weird because, you know, we say this, and I don't, you know, I think it is good to stay close to your friends and keep them, you know, but there's also those friends that I was real close with that used to, you know, work where I work, and we just kind of just grew apart. You know, I don't know if it's, and it wasn't because of relationships, at least I don't think it was. You know, maybe I don't know. I'd be curious to talk to those people, but they just kind of everyone just kind of grew apart. You know, the little circle or the squad, if you will, of friends that I was, you know, a part of. We hung out all the time, always going out to dinner after work and stuff and hanging out, just gone. You know, just like faded away. And it's like, it's kind of sad, you know, now you think back about it, but I still have my core friends who I can, you know, rely on, I can trust, and that, you know, can depend, and that's just kind of, you know, it's good.
Yeah,
it's kind of good.
And I mean, that happens. I feel like that happens to everyone. People just change, and some people don't change. Some people do change, and you just grow apart from certain people, and you're just like, I mean, like I think back to high school, and then I think about my friends that I hang out with now, and it's almost like a completely different group of people.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think it's just what happens. It's just a natural part of life.
Hashtag life.
Yeah.
Hashtag life sucks.
No, I don't think life sucks.
Yeah, actually,
Nah,
I'm kind of.
I'm
It's,
digging it.
if you look back at your like friends, you know, like 5 or 10 years ago, and then 15 years ago, you know, and then elementary school, like it's just weird to kind of see, even though those people are different, your friends still have the same kind of qualities that you've always looked for, like. Like Joe. You guys, we all know Joe. We all love Joe.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend like Joe in middle school. You know, that goofy friend who's just always, you know, he's always around. He always wants to hang out. I love Joe. Don't get me wrong, right?
I'm not saying
And then
anything.
I also had a friend like that Joe in elementary school. So it's just like, you know, those people just kind of are always in, those personalities are always in your life. And I just think that's funny. It's something I've noticed before.
Yeah.
I've mostly kept same friends. Like I've had the same best friend since.
Oh, your life's so easy.
Yeah, since I was 12. Most of my friends in high school, we don't hang out a lot, but you know, we still try to get together every once in a while for like birthdays and just, hey, I'm just randomly having this party, but I only see them maybe a couple times a year.
Right.
But my philosophy behind that is the ones that really care about you will stick around.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
That's all I really have to say about it.
Yeah.
That is true. I have 3 friends that come to mind that I've been friends with since first grade, pretty much.
Oh, right.
So it is.
It's never going to be you.
Yeah. Steve, I only met you like 6 years ago.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, well, I just met you last week, so I mean.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
You're getting a little clingy, Steve. I think I'm going to have to ghost you now.
Yeah.
But
Hashtag don't slide in my DMs.
It is crazy, though, when you're friends with people for such a long time and you're just like, wow, we've literally
done everything together.
Yeah, been in each other's lives since we were like, 7 years old. It's crazy. And 2 of them I'm like not like super close with, but one of them is Connor. So
Right.
I've known him for a very long time. We live in the same neighborhood. We've lived in the same neighborhood our whole lives, so we've always been super close, and it's a nice relationship. It's beautiful.
That's
It's
good.
beautiful.
Life
I love
is
you,
good.
Connor.
There's
All
so
right.
much love right
Sredy,
now.
what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is what relationship advice would you give to somebody? It could be simple, it could be pretty in-depth.
Yeah, I got one word at the moment.
You have what?
I have one word that comes to mind. Technique.
Technique.
Technique. Let's see here. I would pretty much have to say is you just need to be yourself up front.
Yeah.
I've never really had to date, so I've been kind of fortunate with that.
His life's so easy.
Yeah, if you only knew, Steven. If you only knew.
$40 film fest.
Yeah. But anyway, fuck, now I forgot where I was.
You were
heading
saying
with this.
trust yourself.
No,
and
you gotta
show her the.
You gotta.
show her
I
the deed.
prefer. Yeah, I don't like just like. I couldn't really picture myself like dating somebody and then making them my partner like after like a month of just like dating.
Yeah.
I feel like most of the people who, or at least all the people I've dated personally, have been friends. So like, you know, I've known them for a while and
Right.
I just know what I like and what I don't like about them. But I mean, I don't think you should not get into relationships because you're not completely compatible with somebody, because you're not really going to know what it is you want or don't want in somebody
Right.
unless you're with that person.
Right. The growth thing we were talking about.
Yeah. So like with my last relationship, like I don't want to say I learned everything because I was 19 when that relationship ended, but I had a pretty good idea of like what I didn't want and like what I needed to be more upfront about. You know, like with the film stuff, I'm like, look, you know, like this is what I want out of life. It's gonna suck. You know, that was almost 10 years ago, and it still hasn't worked out for me. So you know, it's a long road. You know, it's a
Right.
marathon. It's not a sprint,
Right.
as I always say. So you have to. You're not gonna know what you want. Having a good idea is always good, but like I said, I mean, you should just do it.
Yeah.
You know, just be like Shia,
Right. Just
our
do
holy
it.
Lord and Savior.
Right.
Yeah. I definitely echo that. I feel like being yourself up front and letting people know who you are is the best option instead of going in a period of time pretending like, oh, I'm totally a normal guy. And then you're like, just kidding. Like, I do weird stuff.
I feel like that's really common to try and be like try to give people a different perception of who you really are more of when you're younger than when you're older.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, it really just depends on the person's maturity level. But I'm definitely guilty of trying to like not be who I was when I was a teenager for
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
and I was trying to
Well, yeah.
you know hit on girls. But now it's just like
Well,
whatever.
even outside of that, even not even relationships, just being yourself. You know, like current status in my life right now is way better than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Just because I'm doing things that I actually like and I actually enjoy, and those things are who I am, you know what I mean? But I also have that relationship that supports that. So that's super awesome, But the podcast, the YouTube channel, things at work are doing really good, and just the people that I associate with, you guys, it's awesome.
Hey.
It's seriously like just be yourself, do what makes you happy. And that is a big deal. Like that goes farther than trying to have someone make you happy. I feel like you have to be happy first with who you are.
Actually, yeah. I have one other thing that I usually tell people, because it kind of drives me nuts when like somebody's out there trying to look for somebody, and this could just be me, but I feel like things just kind of naturally happen. Like I'm the everything happens for a reason kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going out and looking for a partner, I just kind of, because anytime I went and tried to look, it never worked out.
Yeah.
But when I just kind of just let things happen, just like let life just kind of flow,
Right.
it
better.
just happened to work out.
Yep.
So I feel like people, like, you just gotta just stop looking.
Right.
Just stop looking, people. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. A lot of our listeners are a little younger. Well, at least most of them. I know some
Wow,
of them
do
are.
you have these analytics that I don't know about?
Well, I just know some of the audience is, a little younger than us. And I would say, like, some of the things that I see on social media kind of reflect what you said. Like, they're out there looking for it. And it just doesn't pan out for them, So I guess if I were to give advice, it would be just do your thing, be yourself, do your thing, be happy with who you are. And then if it happens to, turn into a relationship with somebody, that likes that aspect of you, I think it'll be good.
Another danger of just going out and looking for somebody too is the possibility of just settling for somebody.
Yeah.
Because that's why people get in these shitty relationships, whether it just be just not working out in general or becoming abusive or anything like that is that they're just going out looking for somebody. They pick the first person that
Right.
finds something that they like about them.
Right. They
and
looked at
then-
him the right way.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Like the way Steve's looking at me right now is pretty dangerous.
Right.
Like I might have to kill off my 8-year relationship right now.
Right.
But
You all right?
yeah,
Yeah,
how are you
I was
on time?
gonna let Alex finish his thought and then
I already forgot my
and
thought.
then skirt.
It's all right.
Oh, but yeah, just don't settle either.
Right.
Like settling is super dangerous.
It's not good
and
for you or the person.
Yeah, I
that's-
feel like that's a lot of the
True.
problems that are around with people that I know is that they're just settling.
Do we sound like Loveline right now?
I hope so.
If only we could have people
That's-
call in.
That's the OG
Right.
podcast.
Yeah, it really is.
Welcome
remember we
back
always-
to Loveline.
Can we technically steal the "You Live" because it's not around anymore?
No,
Can
I'm sure we could bring. It's
hashtag
every
you
20
live?
years. It's cool again. You know, like the Jesus sandals, trends and things that were happening 20 years ago are now cool again. We could
Right.
use it.
All right,
It's
guys.
like how everyone my age is dressing like they're from the 90s
Right.
again,
Yeah, I've noticed.
including myself.
hashtag "You Live."
You live. Right.
All right, guys. So we are going to take a break. I'm going to dip out of here. Sorry again.
Because he's got to go to Toys R Us to be a Toys R Us kid.
I got to go be a Toys R Us kid one last time. And I also didn't see Jurassic World, so I couldn't really add anything to the discussion. And even though I don't really care about spoilers, I'm just kind of like, I'll just let these two guys hash it out. And then
Did you watch it, Steve?
Yeah, I've seen Jurassic World 1, 2, and 3.
Jurassic World,
Got
not
'em.
Park.
Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3.
But did you watch the newest Jurassic World?
No, but you said I didn't
Damn
have
it.
to.
Well, we'll get there.
All right.
oh, all right. So I'll see you guys later on the next episode of the Low Side Podcast.
And we will be right back right after this. Welcome back, everybody, to the Low Side Podcast. I'm joined with just Steve.
Hello, everybody.
If you guys weren't listening a little bit ago, Nate had to peace out because he's going to be a Toys R Us kid one last time.
Right. Get it out of his system.
Get it out of his system. All right, so let's bring it back. So the only things we have left to talk about are Shreddy's take on Jurassic World 2, and then, of course, the Low Side Podcast local film plug. Let's talk about the film plug last,
All right.
just because.
All right.
Because I'm already going to be plugging cashing out at the end.
All right.
We might as well just end
Yeah, we
it.
do that every show, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Jurassic World. Alex,
Yes.
you saw it last week? Last Thursday?
Yeah, a week ago,
All right.
last Thursday.
Break it down.
All right, so Jurassic World 2 is essentially a clusterfuck of the first movie, the second movie, and the third movie of the originals, as well as it's kind of a remake of Jurassic World 1,
Really?
which doesn't make any sense. But essentially what they're doing is we have the original character of Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard. She's moved to...
She's beautiful. That's what you need to say.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. But,
Oh, right.
Yeah. But that's beside the point. That doesn't have anything to do with the plot, really.
Yeah, if you don't want to watch the movie for anything that's going on in the movie,
Honestly,
you could just
luckily,
watch her, right?
She is just in the movie. She's in the movie enough to where I'm just like, you know what? I got to stare at your face for an hour and a half.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm all good.
She
from
keeps you
here.
going.
Exactly. But basically, what the actual movie's about is that her character, she plays like a dinosaur rights activist because
Okay.
the government essentially, there's like this big debate because the island that all the dinosaurs are on, there's a volcano that's erupting, sort of like how Hawaii is right now.
Yeah, no
it's
kidding.
really strange how
Jeez.
I don't know if they planned for that or not.
It
But
was-
it's
yeah.
it's pretty much the same thing. So this volcano is about to erupt, and they want to be able to say they can't save all the dinosaurs, but they're basically doing like a Noah's Ark kind of thing, just saving like 11 different species, I think it was. So they want Claire to go back to, I don't remember what her purpose was, but you know, she ran the park, so I think they just needed like access codes and things like that, and she just wanted to be a part of that to move the dinosaurs to a new sanctuary. So essentially she goes back to recruit Chris Pratt because, you know, he can talk to velociraptors and
Yeah.
he's just real good with the dinosaurs. So she just wants him to come back just for that reason. And then, So, you know, of course they have their little playful banter because it's a Hollywood movie and, you know, we have to make sure that the characters want to fuck at all times.
Right.
So they also recruit, there's two new characters. who are absolutely atrocious. They don't really serve any purpose.
Is it the kid?
Both the kids.
Okay.
There's two kids in this movie. One's like kind of like an IT guy. I forgot what the other girl does, but she's good with like medical stuff. I can't remember if that was like her purpose on Claire's team for like the rights activist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, these two characters, they just have no depth. They're just kind of silly and
There's filler people.
caricature-ish.
Yeah.
So they all go to they go to meet this rich guy who is apparently friends with John Hammond. You know, the guy that opened up the park. His name is never mentioned in the originals, so I don't really know. And it's never really explained what his purpose was.
Mm-hmm.
At least that I remember. But he's basically like, hey, go save all these dinosaurs because he loves dinosaurs. And his granddaughter loves dinosaurs. So, you know, we need to save all the dinosaurs. And pretty much all of his fortune is kept up by this rich white guy who you can just tell is going to be the bad guy by the end of this. Because, you know, this movie's super predictable. But anyway, Claire goes to the island with Chris Pratt and the other two, and they go to save the dinosaurs, and the volcano starts erupting, which you can tell from the trailer.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happening. And they basically get double crossed. So once the people who are collecting the dinosaurs get what they want, they're just like, okay, we're going to pretty much kill you now.
Ooh.
Unless you serve some purpose to us. So Chris Pratt, he gets a tranquilizer in his chest. So like, he's like having... You remember that? Did you watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember that scene when Leo's on Quaaludes and
Yeah.
he's trying to get into the car?
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Pratt is essentially doing the same thing,
Oh, boy.
but just on a tranquilizer trying to run away from lava. And God damn, it was fucking hilarious.
Was it good?
It was hilarious. I'm like, this scene is so stupid,
Best scene in the movie?
but man, it is funny. Probably. Because, you know, he's just like throwing his arms up and it
Right.
just looks super ridiculous. I hope he did all that himself. Because he did a really good job with that. So, flash forward. They end up all getting off the island. Basically sneaking in. Bryce Dallas Howard has a brilliant disguise of just wearing a hat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would make nobody notice her.
Right.
Because
What?
nobody's going to notice a gorgeous redhead just
Right.
running around. Because there's no other redheads that look like her running around on the ship, apparently.
Right.
But we go back to... We think we're going to the sanctuary, but we end up actually going back to the rich guy's house where all these dinosaurs are being kept. And there we go to find out that all of the dinosaurs are actually being auctioned off to rich people to be sold as weapons.
Ooh.
And it's basically just a big auction. And then, of course, after some very, very poor decisions, actually one of the decisions that was made, Chris Pratt, they get locked up in a cage because eventually they get caught because, of course, he did.
Wait, does Chris Pratt make another bad decision in a movie?
No, he makes an interesting decision, but
Okay, so it's better than the one from Avengers.
I can't remember what movie this dinosaur was from. I think it was from the second one. But do you remember he's a real little guy, like maybe yay high. He's not a velociraptor, but he's got like the flat head so he can headbutt shit.
Yeah.
So he's in the next cage over from them.
Okay.
And he's like, this scene's so unrealistic. But basically, he bumps his head into the the concrete wall, and eventually breaks into their cage and eventually breaks them out. And then he releases that dinosaur into where the auction's happening, and, you know, hilarity
Right.
ensues from there. But they introduce this hybrid. Do you want me to get into spoiler territory?
Just spoil it.
Okay,
Hashtag just spoil it.
So they make a new dinosaur,
Ooh.
and it's a hybrid of the hybrid. So you remember from Jurassic? Did you watch Jurassic World 1?
Yes.
Okay, so
You're
know
going to have to refresh my memory, though.
just the big ass dinosaur that's, you know, the new dinosaur that gets out. It had like the camouflage and stuff like that. It was a T-Rex
Okay. Yep.
and a Velociraptor.
Yep.
So pretty much it's just like a miniature version of that. It's just like this little bit taller Velociraptor that's, you know, bigger than like Blue. But basically, bad decisions happen, and then this dinosaur gets out of the cage, and it's just a cat and mouse game of them running around, running away from the dinosaur. So let's get into the things that I didn't like. There is a shit ton of callbacks from the original movies in this movie.
Didn't they do that in the last one, though,
they
too?
do it. Yes, but it's even more obvious in this one and even more annoying. Like every single scene is some sort of callback to all the originals.
Right.
And I just felt like that was just super lazy. Like, be your own movie. Like, this movie has no idea what it's trying to be. So, going back, like I said, the two new characters, they're basically useless. You got this kid who's an IT professional, kind of, and he's the comic relief. Which it makes no sense why there's another comic relief when we have Chris Pratt.
Right.
He's charming. He's funny. He was the comic relief in the first movie.
Right.
Although I guess there was kind of the second comic relief in the first movie as well. I forgot Jake Johnson, the guy from New Girl. He played one of the control room people. The guy wearing the Jurassic Park shirt.
Yeah. We're actually going to talk about him a little bit.
Are we?
Yeah, he's in Tag.
Oh, yeah, he is in Tag. But essentially, he's just got all these stupid one-liners, and they're all really bad.
Yeah.
They're just not funny. And then you got this other girl who's basically every hipster, like, my opinion matters kind of person, that just gets angry over the internet kind of girl.
Yeah.
She's one of those, and she's super annoying too. Like, they just don't serve any real purpose, and they just kind of disappear and come back whenever is necessary.
The way you're describing them, it reminds me of the Transformers with the two little cars. Like the little Ford Focuses. They're like neon green and yellow.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
And they're supposed to be the comic relief, but they were just annoying as all.
The racist ones?
Sure, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're just the little Transformer cars. They weren't even like sports cars or anything. They're like something you could buy at the store right now. They're miniature.
Yeah.
And they were terrible. And they showed up every 20 minutes. Hey, I got a funny joke. Yeah. No, you're not funny.
That's essentially what happened.
Yeah, that's what you're describing to me, and that's what I think about.
So they're completely useless. This plot of this movie is just completely overdone. On the ride home from the movie, I was talking to my girlfriend, and I'm like, we've seen this movie several times that has this plot of rich person wants rich object, and people try to take that away. So Solo did that, but luckily I like Solo enough to where it didn't bother me. I had the list in my head, but what other blockbuster movies have come out this year? Pretty much every blockbuster movie that's come out this year has had this. Ready Player One had this plot. Luckily, I liked the movie enough to where it didn't bother me.
Yeah, you love that one.
Once again, I did not like this movie enough to where it didn't bother me this time. So, essentially, it's just a recycled plot that just keeps getting used over and over again in these movies, and I don't understand why.
Right. It gets old.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what I didn't like. What I did like is that Bryce Dallas Howard is gorgeous.
Amen.
Chris Pratt is also gorgeous. He's funny.
Amen.
He's not as good as he is in other movies like Peter Quill. He's definitely killer in that role. And definitely a lot. I can't remember what other I think Jurassic World and Guardians are his only two biggest roles. I can't remember what else he's in. But, he's good per usual.
Right.
I felt like the action scenes were pretty good for the most part. They were definitely exciting. Definitely nothing original. But, I mean, it was fun enough to where it didn't really bother me. I will say the first scene in the movie is really stupid. Because it's kind of like a callback. Here we go. It's a callback to the very first one. But there's this character in there. Like, okay, so you got the big-ass fish dinosaur from Jurassic World. And he's just kind of swimming around. He hits this submarine in the beginning, or this mini submarine in the beginning of the movie. And you got these two characters who are in a helicopter, and this guy he's on the other side of them. I can't remember what he's doing, but they're like, it's storming out and everything's loud. And basically, people are calling him back because they see the big ass T-Rex that's behind him. But he's just like, I can't hear you. What? What? I can't hear you. Yeah. And they're like, come here, dumbass. What? I can't hear you with my eyes or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And
I heard another thing that was not good about the movie is that, crap, I'm forgetting his name already. Older guy.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum?
Jeff Goldblum.
Okay,
he was in the movie for like 30 seconds, I heard.
He's only in the beginning and the end of the movie.
And he's doing like, this is the reason why we need to save them.
Pretty much, no. He wants them dead.
Oh, he's
so
the
just
guy.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, just like so pretty much he's just rehashing everything like his philosophies from the first movie.
Right.
But pretty much what you saw in the trailer is all you get out of him.
Oh no.
So like they basically literally they cut up all of his scenes and put them in the trailer. And I'm like,
Boo.
we're gonna get some good Jeff Goldblum back. Even Jeff Goldblum is smart enough not to be in this movie.
Yeah.
enough.
He's
He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna say my parts. You know
that paycheck.
Yep, get that paycheck real quick, and I'm out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be a part of this shit show.
So who would like this movie, Sredy?
I would say kids are gonna like this movie for sure.
Okay.
You know, obviously there's dinosaurs. You don't not get dinosaurs in this movie, and of course the dinosaurs are cool. The CG is really good in this movie too. I'll give it that. I watched it in 3D, which was kind of annoying. That was the
Why
first.
is that? Just because you're not a fan
I'm
of
not
it
a
still?
fan of 3D
Why did you go see it in 3D then?
because I went with friends, and
Oh, that's what they
it
wanted.
was kind of a plan.
You got outvoted.
Pretty much.
3D
But
sucks.
you know what?
3D sucks.
That's the first movie I watched in 3D in a long time, and like
As
when
bad
I was
as you
watching
remember?
when I was watching the trailers, bro, like I felt sick.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
like,
so
man,
about the same.
I do not miss this
Yeah.
whatsoever. But
it's gone away though.
yeah,
I feel like it's not
luckily.
around as much as it was a few years ago.
Yeah, definitely. So who else I think would like this movie? I mean, if I don't want to call you a simpleton, but if you're a
normie,
Steve,
if you're normie like me.
if you're a normie, you're definitely gonna have fun with this movie. If you're okay with the movie having the same plot over and over again and nothing really changing, you're gonna enjoy it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not enjoyable. It's just really dumb.
Yeah. But I think for me, like, that's why I don't really plan on going to see it because of those reasons. Like, it just feels like all the other movies that we talked about over the last couple shows.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's copy and paste.
Yep.
And we've already seen all those. It's just like, all right, I get it. Big old dinosaurs are trying to escape, or it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We've seen it already, so let's move on.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yep. So overall impressions of this movie, like I said, it's super fun. I mean, if you watch it in the theater, you're gonna have a good time. Just don't expect anything like original or this movie's not going to change the world. It's not going to change your perception on Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for dinosaurs, a gorgeous redhead, a good-looking guy that just
Struts around.
dinosaurs and look how awesome I am all the time, because that's what Chris Pratt does now.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have fun. But honestly, I don't think there's any rush to watch this at the theater. I mean, I guess it would be a good theater movie. It's a good one to take your kids, if you have kids, if they've never experienced a Jurassic Park movie, they're going to freaking love it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you take the kids, it's going to be great. But, I mean, if you're looking to watch this for date night and you're just a normie, or if you're not a normie, then it's not going to be for you.
All right, how many pterodactyls out of 5?
I'm going to give this a 6.5
Out of 10.
out of 10.
Nice.
Unlike last week, where I can't remember what movie we talked about, but I gave it like a 7.5 out of 5. I'm like,
You went through
wow.
with it? You committed with the 5?
Well, neither you or Nate corrected me, so
all right.
apparently nobody noticed that.
Yeah, I'm so used to the out of 5 scale that I just
if
you
just
don't
like 5?
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. He loved it. That's how much he loved this movie.
Yep. So, I mean, go see it or don't. It's not really going to affect your life
Yeah,
that much.
it's a good.
All right. So, Steve watched Tag.
Yeah, so a good another filler movie as for this summer. If you're kind of tired of all the same old, which I have been, admittedly. The wife and I, we went to go see Tag, which we thought was going to be funny. It stars Jeremy Renner, Isla Fisher. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Yep. It has John Hamm, Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, Rashida Jones, and then the annoying dude from the Verizon commercials.
The new one?
The
or?
new, the skinny
Thomas
dude.
Middleditch?
Yep.
Yeah.
That guy. He's annoying.
You think he's annoying?
I don't like his commercials, but in
You
the
gotta
movie,
watch. I think you would like Silicon Valley.
Okay.
He's the star in Silicon Valley.
he's the main person.
Yeah.
Okay. In this movie in Tag, he was okay. Anyway, Tag is a story about a group of friends. They're all guy friends who grew up together, and they essentially started a game of tag when they were younger and have been playing it for the past 30 years. So it was actually pretty fun. I thought the concept was, it felt like it was new. That's the thing. I just thought it was funny, so I wanted to go see it. And the way that they brought the story up and they kind of introduced all the different characters, because they've grown apart, but they're still best friends because of this game, right? So they live all the way across the country, and then every month or every year in the month of May, they all get together and they play tag. And one guy, Jeremy Renner's character, he plays Jerry Pierce. He's the one guy out of all of them that hasn't been tagged in all 30 years. So he's the best guy who's ever played tag. So all the other guys are getting together.
Probably because when he, like, somebody comes after him, he just throws out the crossbow and just fucking shoots them with it.
So it was funny because Ed Helms and all the other guys are trying to plot on how to get him. Because
is that the plot of the movie? Is how to get
tag
him?
Yeah,
okay.
And but he's getting married, so they're trying to plan the attack in and around his marriage because they think that he's going to be so busy he'll be caught off guard. So they go through all these different scenarios, and they have like this whole like almost like a itinerary on how they're going to get him. He'll be at the church at 12, and then at 1 o'clock the rehearsal will be done, and then 2 o'clock we can get him. And then in and around that's all this like funny jokes and all this kind of stuff. But overall, I think what I liked the movie a lot. I just thought just because it was different. And then there was something else about, what's her name? Annabelle Wallace. She was a reporter who is working with John Hamm at the beginning of the movie, right? So at the beginning of the movie, John Hamm is doing a business interview with this reporter. And that's when Ed Helms kind of comes into disguise because he knows where John Hamm works. He got a job at this place, right? Ed Helms got a job at this place that his friend works at. His friend unknowingly sees him walking through the hallway, and he's a janitor now. Ed Helms' character is a janitor. He's got a fake mustache on, goes into his office while he's doing the interview, and he's, John Hamm's talking about how awesome his Fortune 500 company is and this and that. And then Ed Helms' character comes into the office just to change the trash. He's being a little loud. The interview's ongoing. And then he knocks over like a lamp or something. And then John Hamm goes, "What are you doing? We're having an interview here. Can you keep it down?" And then Ed Helms' character turns around in his mustache and his wig on, and he goes, "Yep, I'll quiet down after I tag you." And that's when the movie starts. And like the reporter's like, "What the hell's going on? What are you guys talking about?" And John Hamm's like, "All right, we got to go outside just for 1 second. I got to talk to him." And they did go outside. "What the hell are you doing, man? I'm in an interview right now." And then she comes out to kind of, confront them about what's going on. And then Ed Helms spills the beans on what they've been doing. So she wants to follow him. So essentially throughout this whole movie, the reporter ditches the Business 500 story and wants to follow them on their 30-year-old game of tag. So she's in and out the movie all the time. Jake Johnson's in it, like we mentioned earlier. But it was good. I liked it. It was a very normie movie. It was a good filler movie. I wish, though, the one thing I wish about this movie that it had a little bit more jokes where like the guys would rip on each other, because I just that kind of like chemistry with people, especially with your guy friends, I just think it's hilarious. Like I just can't get enough of it. It's everyone making fun of each other and ripping on each other. I just think it's funny.
I feel like that would be because like Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd and all them, they're real good at that because they're real good at improvising.
Right.
But like John Hamm and Jeremy Renner, I don't really see them as improvisers that much because like John Hamm, he's known mostly for Mad Men,
right?
This epic drama, and then Jeremy Renner, like he's mostly in dramas or like action movies, so you don't really picture him as like somebody who can do comedy for one.
Mm-hmm.
So that maybe they probably stuck more to the scripts.
Yeah, Jake Johnson did pretty well as Randy. I think that's his nickname was Taco or something like that in the movie, or Chili, something like that. It was weird. So Ed Helms and Jake Johnson, their characters kind of had that little bit of where where they would rip on each other and stuff. So I enjoyed that, but the rest of it was just kind of like it was okay.
Yeah.
That the chemistry between the characters was good because they've obviously been friends forever. So, what would I give it? Let's see. How many
tags?
How many tags? I'd probably give it.
How many years a tag?
Oh. I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5.
Okay.
It was an average movie. Like I said, I wanted a little bit more of the comedy side to come out of it because they're all dudes and they're all like, supposed, in my mind, they were supposed to be having fun together, which they were. The one thing though I thought was really cool about the movie, at the end, during the credits, they actually showed live footage of these friends from Boston playing tag with each other. One of the guys dressed up as a mascot at a college basketball game. He was like the Bulldog, and his friend was in like the third row of the basketball game. When halftime comes, the Bulldog kind of walks through the crowd and tags his friend and takes his helmet off, and then they all start like laughing with each other and stuff. There's one of them, the guy sneaks around like a restaurant, like he's at a restaurant and he comes out of the kitchen and tags his friend while he's holding a beer and spills it everywhere. His friend didn't realize it was him. And then the last one I thought was really funny was there was one of the guys was in a shower. He's naked. He's, his friend's got a camera, like a GoPro camera, and he pulls open the blinds and you see the guy, he's naked, and he tags him on the belly, like hits him real hard. The guy's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And they're just like laughing and stuff. And the dude's naked, and they have it on footage. So I don't know. I thought that was funny. But how many people have played the same game for 30 years? That's kind of funny.
Probably nobody.
Yeah, not a lot of people do that. But I thought it was cool that one thing kept their friends together. And like earlier, we were talking about, sometimes friends split up and kind of go their own ways. I just thought it was cool. So I like the movie. 3 out of 5. I wish it was a little bit better.
You know what? The number one piece of relationship advice is now? Play tag.
Play tag with each other?
For 70,000 years.
Yeah, just keep it going. This movie was rated R. Actually, it came out a few weeks ago, and it's only an hour and 45 minutes.
Nice.
So
good one and done?
Yeah, good one and done. You're
All
not going to want to go see it again. I probably wouldn't buy it on DVD. Not that I buy movies anyway on DVD, but for those of you who do, you could probably skip out on this one.
All right, then. All right, so let's move on to what I assume is the last topic is the Low Side Podcast local film plug, if I can even find all my plugs.
This has been blowing up. Last week we saw all kinds of, thank you posts. And
yeah, a lot of thank you posts.
Check out the Low Side Podcast posts. They've been representing.
Yeah, we're going to get famous just from doing this.
Hey.
Not because our, people like our opinions.
Right.
It's just because we're plugging their shit.
Yeah.
All right, so basically what the Low Side Podcast local film plug is, for those who don't know, is that I am a local filmmaker, and I know how difficult it is to get people to care about your stuff. So essentially what I'm doing is, if you made a movie, a short, like a short or a feature or like a web series, I don't really care what it is, send it my way. I have a form for you to fill out with some basic information, such as the director, what type of film it is, genre, length, YouTube links to your trailers or the actual film. Fill that out. I have a link for that in the description below. Hit me up anytime. I don't care what it is. I will feature it on this podcast. We do 3 every episode. So let's jump into it.
All right, let's do it.
So the first one is, I have a feature titled Sovereign, directed by Micah Faulkner. The main actors are Anika, oh boy.
Take your time.
Lil Jablad. Like there's
what was that again?
There's just a lot of letters just all over the place in this one. So I am very sorry, Anika. Russell Husley and Gabrielle.
That's a nice name. Russell Husley?
Bussum? Yeah.
I like that name.
It is a horror thriller feature, as I mentioned, and it's about Noble Gadling has been prepping his family for every survivalist contingency and moving them off-grid. But when a storm hits and little Jackson is hurt badly, they seal their fates when they decide to operate on him at home in their family bunker. You can find this movie. I can't remember if they said that it's actually available yet. I've tried going to the website and I couldn't find a trailer, even though this is where they directed me for it. I don't think they have a trailer out yet, but they have a website. I'll have a link for it in the description, of course, but it is www.sovereignthemovie.com. They also provided some links to their Facebook page, YouTube, etc. The interesting fact about this movie is that the story hinges on the question, what if being prepared for everything is not enough?
Dang.
It is about our primal fears, the problem of our legacy, the survival of our kin, and the possibility that when we die alone.
Dang.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Like with like when you have a family, what do you think about, what do you want your kids to kind of have? And do you think we're leaving this world in a way for them to, prosper? You know how we're always talking about like global warming, pollution, this and this and this. Like, do you think we're going to leave this planet in a good position for the next generation?
I mean, I guess if it blows up, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, to be honest, this planet's been around for gajillions of years and it's still here.
We're going to have to fact check that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me
gajillion.
pull out my phone. Hey, Google, how long has Earth been alive?
Yeah.
Oh wow, a gajillion years.
For real though, like sometimes I think about that stuff. Like what was it like for my parents growing up, and what was it like for me?
I'm sure they had the same thoughts.
Yeah, are we helping it out, or are we making it worse?
Well, I mean that is the question.
Do you guys know?
We're never gonna know.
Are we though? I feel like we couldn't. I think.
I feel like we're getting closer to knowing, but
I think there's just too many people who don't care enough to make a difference. But I also see different strides to make it worth, make the issue at hand better.
Yeah. Luckily our planet is not full of rich dickheads that are not doing anything. So, I mean, Elon Musk hasn't really delivered completely on everything that he wants to do yet.
You could drive a car in space with him.
At least he's trying. At least he's trying to make a difference.
Right.
So if we have more people like that, then that gives me a little bit more faith. I'm definitely not that person. I can't do what he does for sure.
Yeah, we just do this podcast.
Yeah, we just do this podcast and talk about things instead of.
That's good though.
action.
I like this guy's movie because he's making me think about stuff.
See, there you go.
That's good.
You just got to think. Hashtag think.
Yeah. Hashtag think.
Hashtag slide in my DMs to make me think.
Whoa. All right. What's the next movie?
All right. So our next film is called Platypossum.
Ooh.
Yes, it is directed by Roger Trexler. It was made in Southern Illinois. The main actors are Karen Fiorino.
Good job.
Fiorino.
Yeah.
John Rector and Alexia Renee Patton. It is a horror sci-fi feature, I believe it was. And it's about mankind's greed creates a new monster for a new generation.
See, I could see this happening now. Okay.
Oh boy.
So, I was just, what was it? I was listening to something on the radio and they were talking about, the 90s. Yeah, the 90s. And they had like different clips from like news highlights and stuff. And they talked about how they successfully cloned like a goat. Remember that back in the 90s when we did that?
Yeah.
I could see that happening in like the next 10 years.
That's what Jurassic Park's all about.
Exactly.
And one thing I forgot to spoil is that the little girl, the granddaughter that I mentioned, she's actually a clone.
See?
Yep.
It's already, yeah.
Yep.
These movies are, they're putting it in your mind that it's okay to do this. It's okay to clone somebody or something. There's going to be...
maybe that's the idea of the perfect relationship is when you can just clone the perfect girl and then just kidnap her.
Yeah, just keep her for
yourself. Or at least
yourself.
brainwash her to think that,
well,
this
you won't
is your
have
only
to
life.
if you created it, right?
I don't know how cloning works, so I don't know.
We'll research it.
Yeah.
We can make another Nate that always stays on the show.
Yeah. So we have a trailer for you guys in the description. It's not completed yet, but they're seeking distribution. So we'll have to definitely look out for that when the time comes. The interesting fact that they gave me is that it's a throwback to science fiction films of the 1950s featuring a stop-motion monster. I did watch the trailer. I don't remember if the monster was in there. It was a few weeks ago when I watched this.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely interested in checking that out.
All right.
Last up, we have a title called Schism. It is directed by Michael.
What was that?
Schism.
Okay.
What do you think I said?
Jism?
Jism? No.
No? Okay.
My next movie will be called Jism. So the film titled Schism, it is directed by Michael Storch out of Fort Wayne. Did he give me main actors? I forgot to fill that out. Whoops. All right, so apparently there's no actors in this movie, at least
no, they're actors
by
in
my
there.
concern. Yeah, no. I apparently forgot to write them down, so apologies, Michael, for that. It is a horror feature film. The synopsis is Schism tells the tale of a young man named Christopher who faces off against his former pastor who leads him on a journey into the darkness. Hold on. I'm fucking up right now. Who leads him on a journey into the darkness. It's darkest.
Darkest. It's okay.
I read that as darkness.
Yep, it's all right.
I'm a little slow, guys.
Yeah,
My apologies.
You're tired.
My apologies. Yeah, I am very tired. The darkest recesses of his mind and onto the shores of hell itself. The film is a supernatural and psychological horror film that deals with the occult, demons, and tragic quality of human isolation in a world that never sleeps.
Dang.
We have just a trailer for this right now. They didn't specify when or if it's available, but you guys can go to, this is from Open Sign Films. You can check out their website, which I will provide in the description below.
Very nice.
And of course, it would not be a local film plug if I didn't plug my own shit.
What's that?
Cashing Out.
Oh.
A crime feature film directed by yours truly. I have a trailer, of course, in the description below. And you can also get your Cashing Out merch. As you can see, I am wearing what I call the Jack of Hearts shirts.
Wow.
One of the characters in the film is named Jax. It's actually a female on the shirt. Everybody thinks it's a dude, but it's a woman.
Yeah, you could see the boobs on there.
You're right. Yeah, I made sure I specifically put those on there. So make sure that you guys are picking up your Cashing Out merch. As you guys remember, last time we talked about the key. Well, earlier in this episode, we were talking about the key to relationships. The key to relationships, in my opinion, is to buy your Cashing Out merch because your significant other will definitely like you a lot more. I heard that pretty much everybody has bought these shirts now. We're completely
sold out. For real?
No.
Oh, okay.
I need you guys to buy these shirts. Like as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently homeless, and my only source of income is
right here
from you guys buying these shirts.
Right.
So make sure you guys do that. I'll have a link in the description, of course. And yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, very good. So do we have anything else we want to talk about? So he's wearing his Yellow TV shirt that I designed for him.
Yeah, I got this shirt from Alex here, and I'm actually thinking about doing merch.
A merch store?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think after I get this whole house situation settled and I kind of create a studio for the beer reviews.
Yeah.
I wanted to do that at the beginning of June. Didn't happen. We got busy again. Life is just...
It's so busy.
It's so busy, and there's always something to do, you know?
Yeah.
I can't just chill in the back deck and scratch my butt. I got to go out and do something.
Yeah.
I got
fucking work.
I know. I got to make content. I got to go fishing. I got to go to work. I got to pet the dog.
Yeah.
Got to pet the wife. You know, I got to do...
Yeah, we never got to that part of the relationship. You know, I think that goes with part of the technique that I mentioned earlier. You know, you got to make your significant other happy.
Yeah, are we back to Loveline?
We're going back to Loveline. I want to touch on this some more. You know, we got time.
Yeah, let's
Apparently
do it.
You got time to kill. I got time to kill.
Yeah, what time is it?
I'm not going to see American Animals until 10 o'clock tonight,
All
so
right.
I mean...
Wait, are we not watching Sicario tonight?
Were we watching Sicario together?
Yes.
You know, anytime you say that we're watching a movie together, I don't actually believe you.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You just need to commit. Because when I commit, you don't, and then vice versa.
I'm not watching it tonight because American Animals is pretty much gone after tonight.
Kevin said it's not good.
I don't care what Kevin says.
Hey, listen
I'm
to
my
him.
own person. I want to see this movie.
Be yourself.
Yeah, be your own person.
This
all right?
camera died. Oh,
Did it?
Yeah, my camera's dead.
Well, all right. So Steve's back to one
I'm
angle.
back to over here.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. I'm still here.
Actually, I could probably plug you in real quick.
No, it's
Hold
all
on.
right. No.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me plug you in real quick.
All right.
Steve, just talk about things while I'm fixing things.
So, yeah, back to the Yellow TV merch. I wanted to kind of start up a store that had both fishing gear and my beer reviews because I've actually had a few requests from some of my viewers and just people that I know personally. They're willing to support me with that, so I think that's super awesome. The problem is finding the time to commit to doing that because, I want to make sure the shirts look good. I want to make sure that it's a cool design. It's something people would actually wear. And obviously you're not going to wear it every day. However, support the channel, support me. That's something that I'm trying to get to. And I'm kind of thinking about making the fishing shirts kind of those breathable, like jersey mesh kind of shirts.
Can you pause for a second? I'm going to teach you guys how I sing shit. All right, go back.
Okay. So what I was thinking about doing for the fishing channel or the fishing merch was doing like a dry fit shirt with that had the Yellow TV logo on it. So if you guys are interested in any of that kind of stuff, let me know. Let us know down below. Or you can just visit me at my channel on YouTube, youtube.com/YallowTV. But let me know if you guys
buy Steve shirts.
Yeah, buy my merch. Actually, let me get a merch store up first, and then we can buy the merch.
Yeah, I guess that would be helpful to actually have the merch
nice. Yeah,
before you buy the merch.
The one thing I want to do is what you did with the cashing out shirts is buy them first.
Yeah.
See if I like, because this was just like a trial run kind of shirt, and I do like it. I want to do something different with the image. Make it stand out a little better. I shouldn't have done dark on blue. My jersey or my hoodie, my thin hoodie. Perfect. I love that thing. It's black on white or white on black. It's perfect. So I want to do something more like that and then get some more, dry fit shirts. There we go. That's what I was thinking about.
There you go.
That's what I got going on.
Nice.
So what were you going to say about relationships, though?
Well, we were just talking about
Oh, you were going to talk about sexy time. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
sexy time.
All right.
So I feel like
wait, can we just let, this is 18 and older right now?
yeah, this is
If you're under 18, turn this off.
Yeah, I don't want to talk like Bob because Bob's got a show Bob After Dark.
Ooh.
But this is about to be Slow Side Podcast After Dark for sure. So make sure it's after midnight. The kids are asleep. They're all tucked in. Nice,
Yeah,
and,
you get. Why are you talking?
you got
like...
some candles lit
Oh,
for your woman.
Are you setting
in
the mood?
bedroom? Oh
You
yeah,
set-
I'm trying to paint a picture because I mean, you guys are getting your picture right now if you're watching the video of this, but
Right.
I like to think that most of our listeners are still probably listening on iTunes.
Yeah, and they're in their lingerie.
Yeah,
They're getting ready.
They're listening to my voice.
Yeah.
I'm going down to that soft, low frequency of my voice.
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to sexy time.
Tell me, what do you got?
You gotta satisfy your partner for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who just aren't willing to put the effort in, to say the least.
What's the effort?
Like I said, the technique.
Oh, right.
Find out what your partner. I mean, you just gotta find out what your partner likes.
Right.
If you don't know, don't be embarrassed to ask. Sometimes you gotta check up on them. Be like, hey, is
How do you check up on it? What do you do?
Right?
Yeah.
Should I go a little more to the left, the right?
Right.
Should we switch it up a little bit?
Right.
You gotta.
There's a lot to learn.
There's a lot to learn.
And if you're still listening and you're underage, you got a lot to learn.
You got a lot.
There's
to learn.
I'm still learning.
Yeah, you
And
think you know everything when you're
Right.
I hope you're 18 when you are doing this, but
Right. If you're not, I'm telling your mom.
yeah, definitely hashtag we're calling your mom. It may be for more than one reason, depending what
There you go.
I'm not gonna go there.
Yeah. Bob goes there though.
Oh yeah. But anyway,
There is a lot to learn with that kind of stuff. And it's so awkward when you first get into that, right? At least it was for me. I was just like, this is going to be super awesome. I'm going to be a pro. 10 seconds later, game over. And I'm just like, oh, all right. That wasn't really what I thought it was going to be like.
yeah, the first time it happened for me, I was drunk, so I 10-second Sredy wasn't like a real thing.
Right. Yeah. The whole, I think some friends, they joke around, they say 2-pump chump. I haven't
heard that, but
I think that's very common for your first.
That's what I was told was going to happen, but like
you were
I said,
a 10-pump chump.
Yeah, I mean, I've never really been like that, which is I know it sounds awesome, but it's really unfortunate. I mean, it kind of sucks because you're just after a while, like
Right.
I don't know how long you go for, man, but like after 10 minutes, I'm just like, we need to wrap this up. I got shit to do.
Right. I got a podcast to get
I got
to.
a podcast to go. My arms are getting tired. My glasses are fogging up. Like, it's just not a good time. It's
I
just not a
can't
good
see.
time for anybody.
I'm getting a
Like,
headache.
yeah, exactly. Like, she's hurting. It's just
You
it's
said
not
your
a good
glasses
time.
are fogging up.
Yeah. I got to be able to see.
Right, you got to know what you're
You know?
doing. Yeah,
And
the
then-
worst for me, because I'm not very strong, is the upper body, like holding yourself up.
It
I'm
sucks,
tired.
man.
Switch.
I work out every day and it's still not enough.
Yeah, you got to switch it up.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, time to
Yeah.
pony up.
That's so awesome. Yeah, so anyway, it's not as good the first couple times as it is when you're, a seasoned veteran, right?
Yeah.
Would you say it's a lot different? I mean, obviously, like you said, you learn to figure out what you like and don't like.
I feel like if you and your partner are on the same wavelength, as you grow as a couple, not intimately, but just as part of the relationship,
It's more than just that.
You start, the intimacy definitely changes,
Right. And
as long as you're still, like, I don't feel like you have to be, like, I'm not a super like passionate person. Like, I'm not like one of those people who's like, we need to go fuck in the Toys R Us parking lot, like right now to get
Sure.
the spice back in our
Right.
relationship.
Right.
I'm sure that's what Nate's actually doing right now. Is he's fucking in the Toys R Us parking lot.
Too soon, bro.
Too soon.
soon.
Why?
Hashtag too soon.
Hashtag too soon.
Yeah, don't bring that
Yeah,
up.
but anyway,
Sorry, Nate.
it's gonna be closed after tomorrow. Are you worried about?
He's trying to keep the love alive.
Oh
Over there.
right, yeah.
He's trying,
He's trying to keep the what do you call that? Not corrupt. I can't think of the word right now. Your innocence.
Yeah,
he's trying to keep the innocence about it.
oh man. Hey, good luck, Nate. Good luck over there.
Yeah, good luck over there. But shit, where was I going with this before?
I don't know. What are your thoughts on toys?
Man, Quentin Tarantino.
What?
I know, but just hear me out here.
All right.
So he's like a big stickler for like no cell phones and no sleeping on set.
Okay.
And I know you've been on like done a short film with me before, but you've never had like a long day.
Right.
Sometimes there's a lot of waiting around, especially for actors. So, people tend to kind of doze off every once in a while. So he has this giant, like this, I think it's like a 24-inch pink dildo. I can't remember what the name is. It's like big something. But if you fall asleep, you get a picture with this dildo.
Does he hit you with it?
No, he just takes a picture with you.
That'd be better.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Because if you got hit in the face with a dildo, and that was your means of being woken up, I think you probably wouldn't sleep for a while.
Definitely not on that
At least
set
when
anymore.
you weren't on set. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's pretty
24 inches?
Yeah, I mean it's
Who handles that?
I would assume him.
Where?
I'm not
24
really
inches? That's a lot. That's a
big purple.
Oh boy, it's purple now.
It's a purple dildo, but I can't. He's got like a name for it.
Big beluga, pink beluga,
Big Jerry.
Jerry.
That's what he calls it.
Oh gosh,
Big Jerry.
Big Jerry flopping around, hitting people in the face.
Pretty much. He's got like a wall. Here we go. Wait, I don't think this picture's real. Yeah, that picture's not real.
Can you imagine that at like a normal workplace?
Oh, here we go.
People
is
falling asleep at work. Oh my gosh, that's like 24 inches wide.
Yeah, I mean it's a monster.
That's a mega.
Yeah.
Good grief.
We should start doing that at work.
So he just puts it by you and takes a picture with it.
Pretty much.
Does
I'm assuming he's probably got it. For you guys are going to be able to see what the on the GoPro ish cameras, but
yeah,
essentially it's right in front of his mouth.
Yeah,
this dude's mouth. I have no idea who this is. Oh,
it looks like a big water balloon that's just
yeah.
like right here.
Yeah,
on your face.
Yeah.
I would not want that. And those kind of toys are they're not needed.
Could you imagine?
Just a little bit of lube. That's all you need. Not a little bit, maybe a lot of bit. I don't know. It depends on who you are, right?
Yeah, that's true. The other day we were just joking about it, but doing a top thickest Disney character. Because, Miss Incredible, she's
she's got it going on.
Pretty much got it going on. And I was trying to think of other characters at least in the Pixar universe that are relatively thick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about Mama Coco from Coco. The grandma that's pretty much on her deathbed.
Yeah.
She's still got a pulse.
You're all about it? Yeah.
She's alive for most of that movie. So
Sredy.
Hey man, all they need is a pulse. I'm totally joking, by the way.
No, you're not. All right, who else? Who would be
I couldn't think of anybody else.
Who would be the girl you would bring home to mom?
For a Disney character?
Disney characters to be like,
oh man,
this is it. She's
all right,
it.
I got a story time.
We're not being gross. We're just
we're not being gross.
Yeah,
but
this is
story time. All right.
Sure.
So I went to Florida. I think it's been almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend is like, she loves meeting the characters, which is fucking awful for me because you're standing in line forever to meet these characters, and they're only around at certain times. So like you got to pretty much like plan ahead for it, and it just kills your day.
Yeah.
But she loves it, so of course I suck it up and
compromise.
Exactly. Compromises people.
Yeah, hashtag bro.
Hashtag compromises. But one of the characters was Anna from Frozen.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was just the girl or the character, but I'm like,
maybe a little bit of both.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Please come home with me.
Yeah, I think probably in recent years, what is it?
Can I just say that cosplay is a wonderful thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, we've talked about that.
Or Lola Bunny. I just watched Space Jam again.
Yeah.
She's not thick, but
Yeah, she's cool. She's got that that look.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What's her name from Tangled? What's her name? Rapunzel?
Oh yeah, Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Like that. You like them blondes, don't you?
Yeah, and like especially when she cut her hair, and she was like all different. She's just a totally different girl.
Okay.
Like bring her home to mom and dad. Be like, this is who I'm going to marry. Mm-hmm. So if I were to marry a Disney character, it'd be Rapunzel from Tangled.
All right.
She's a babe.
Yeah.
So
I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't know who else. I can't think of any.
What about Belle?
Or
are you an Indian chick?
Well, I mean, Emma Watson played Belle in the new Beauty and the Beast. So I mean, I guess by default, but I mean, Belle as a whole.
No.
Yeah.
You could be her beast, dude.
That's true. I mean, well, let's not go there. But,
yeah, we're not doing that.
yeah.
So Belle, okay, so she's
Bell's
okay.
okay.
What about?
Oh, Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel's
Yeah.
got it going on. She's that redhead factor that you like.
Hashtag redheads today.
Yeah. Pocahontas probably not going to be for me. Too Native American.
Oh God. I'd be all right with it.
Right? I would pick Belle over Pocahontas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
What about from Aladdin? What's her name?
Jasmine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bring it over here. Bring that magic carpet over here.
Oh my gosh. Keep the tiger at home, right?
Yeah.
Good
Magic
grief.
carpet's actually in my bedroom,
Yeah,
by the way.
oh,
Boy.
We're
This is Low Side Podcast After Dark, people.
We're going off the deep end.
We are going off the deep end.
All right, Sredy, let's reel it in. Let's get out of here because I got stuff to do tonight.
Oh, he's like, I got no stuff to do.
I got no stuff.
He's got people at the house
It's
right
about
now.
that time, so go
All
ahead
right.
and finish it off with a social plug.
All right, so if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give us hit that subscribe button on iTunes, on YouTube, Google Play, if we still exist there, or pretty much any other podcast platform where our episodes are currently airing. Sometimes if you just have like a podcast hub, we'll show up on there. I had a friend who found us on one I didn't put them on,
Very
put it
nice.
up on, but
We're everywhere.
I think it just pulls up, just from iTunes or
Right.
wherever. SoundCloud as well. Make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're all there. Hope you guys like the new sign. Make sure now that we have a visual, people can see what our image looks like and don't confuse us with the other Low Side podcast.
Yeah, this is us.
That's about golf.
This is us.
Yeah, this is our logo.
I like that poster. It looks good.
Yeah, it's looking good. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we didn't lose you all by talking about
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World. That's what
Yep.
where everybody got lost. So anyway, I am Sredy. I've been joined with Steve.
See you guys next time.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Low Side Podcast.